Right, communism in Great Britain. Well, in 1920, a lot of communist parties that merged in Great Britain to form the CPGB, or Communist Party of Great Britain, in response to Comintern's call for worldwide revolution. Now, they didn't get that many members, and they were never ever really that much of a threat to Britain, but they were always there, and they at first were allowed to join the Labour Party as well as being communist members. So Labour Party MPs could also belong to the Communist Party, as the communists did not want to follow parliamentary elections, so they were not a parliamentary party. They always wanted to work outside the parliamentary system and be more seditious and revolutionary. Anyway, if you wanted to be a member party of the Communists, you could also stand for election as a Labour MP, and a couple of MPs did. Now, in 1924, the first ever Labour government got elected. Labour never affiliated with the Communist Party. The Communist Party wanted to, but 3 times throughout the 1920s and 30s, the Labour Party refused to affiliate with the Communist Party and let them join up to become part of Labour. However, Ramsay MacDonald, the first ever Labour Prime Minister, was accused of being too soft on the communists and too soft on the Russian communists, organising a pact, an alliance of sorts with them in 1924, and that's what brought down his government. That, and also possibly this Zinoviev letter, which was supposedly written by Grigory Zinoviev, the head of Comintern, calling for British workers to rebel and have a revolution. Now, it has been proved to be the work of the MI6, or the SIS as it was known then. However, at the time, it just reaffirmed what many people thought, that Labour were far too close to communism, and that's pretty much what got rid of the first ever Labour government within a year of it being in existence. So, the communists then had to deal with, in 1926, the general strike, supporting the miners, who had lost a lot of business because of World War One, giving all their coal to the war effort, whilst other countries like America took over their markets. So the miners weren't getting paid enough, so they thought, and the other unions went on strike to help them out. The Communist Party of Great Britain, always a friend of the worker, stood up for them quite famously and quite publicly in those strikes, and therefore got a lot of support in mining areas and kept that support for a long time. It still wasn't that strong an organisation, and even when the Depression hit and in other countries people turned to communism, it never really caught on over here. Numbers did increase during the Depression, but most of them joined their Communist parties of Great Britain's sister organisation, the National Union Unemployed Workers movement, which was set up by a Communist Party member, and was supposed to make unemployed workers' lives easier. And that actually meant that people didn't move across, because communism's an extreme party, and the NUWM was helping their lives become better, so they didn't need to be more extreme. However, in the Popular Front era, the Communist Party of Great Britain did I've gone all weird. The Communist Party did make alliances, or try and make alliances with any group who were anti-fascist, as Comintern had called for. The Spanish Civil War gave them a publicity boost, and also I'm having problems with my computer, and also gave them a lot of goodwill for people going over and willing to fight against fascism. But again, they still did not get a huge amount of members. The other thing they did, I suppose, that got them some goodwill was to stand up to the British Union fascists, Oswald Mosley's BUF, especially on Cable Street, the Battle of Cable Street. The only other thing you need to know about the CPGB is that they opposed appeasement all the way through. Quite understandably, because they were enemies of the fascists and appeasement was making deals with the fascist country, they were dead against it. You might like to use that in an exam, maybe.